Much of our planning is like waiting to swim in a dry ravine. Many of our activities are like housekeeping in a dream. Delirious with fever, one does not recognize the fever. If you do not have insight into the way you yourself and all things actually are, you cannot recognize and get rid of the obstacles to liberation from cyclic existence and, even more important, the obstructions to helping others. Without insight, you cannot address any problem at its root or remove the seeds that might produce it in the future. To overcome the misconception that things and people exist as self-sufficient entities, independent of consciousness, it is essential to observe your own mind to discover how this mistake is being conceived and how destructive emotions arise with such ignorance as their support. Given that lust, hatred, pride, jealousy, and anger stem from exaggerating the importance of qualities such as beauty and ugliness, it is crucial to understand how persons and things actually exist without exaggeration. The only way to gain this understanding is internal. You need to give up the false beliefs you are superimposing on the way things really are. There is no external means of removing lust and hatred. If you are pierced by a thorn, you can remove it forever with a needle, but to get rid of an internal attitude, you must see clearly the mistaken beliefs on which it is based. This calls for using reason to explore the true nature of phenomena and then concentrate on what has been understood. This is the path leading to liberation and omniscience. As Dharmakirti says, without losing belief in the object of an afflictive emotion, it cannot be abandoned. The abandonment of desire, hatred, and so forth, which are related to misperceiving advantages and disadvantages, is through not seeing those in objects, not through external ways. When you see that all troublesome emotions and indeed all problems arise from a basic misunderstanding, you will want to get rid of such ignorance. The means to accomplish this is to reflect on reasoning that reveals the superimposition of a belief in inherent existence to be totally unfounded, and then to concentrate on the emptiness of inherent existence through meditation. As Chandrakirti, a follower of Nagarjuna and Narayadeva, said, seeing with their minds that all afflictive emotions and defects arise from viewing oneself as inherently existent. Narayadeva similarly says that realization of selflessness is the way to stop cyclic existence. When selflessness is seen in objects, the seed of cyclic existence is destroyed. When the roots of a tree are cut, all the branches, twigs, and leaves dry up. In the same way, all the problem of cyclic existence are undermined by removing the misunderstanding that is their cause. The supreme scholar practitioners of India Nagarjuna, Narayadeva, Chandrakirti, and Dharmakirti understood that the truth cannot be realized without seeing that we superimpose on people and things a status of solidity and permanence that actually is not there. The emptiness of that false superimposition must be understood, and to do this they analyzed phenomena through scripture and through reasoning. How to make meditation meaningful. It is crucial to understand this procedure, because if you do not meditate on the absence of the mistake that it is the root of ruination, your meditation will not address the problem at all. No matter how profound you may think your meditation is. Although you might succeed in withdrawing your mind from disturbing objects, this does not constitute being absorbed in the truth. You have to actively realize that objects simply do not exist the way ignorance them to exist. If someone is suffering from fright because she or he mistakenly believes that a snake is just outside the door, it would not help to point out that there is a tree on the other side of the house. Instead, you need to show the person that in fact there is no snake outside the door. In the same way, you need to understand that the very objects you imagine to exist in and of themselves do not actually exist that way in order to get over the problems this misperception creates. Merely withdrawing your mind from thinking about anything or merely thinking about something else will not get to the root of the problem. You have to put together that if objects really did exist in the way they seem to, the logical consequences would be impossible, and on this basis you can fully appreciate that phenomena do not exist this way. People and things may still seem to exist concretely and independently from their own side, but you will know that they do not. Gradually, this awareness will weaken your misconceptions and diminish the trouble they cause. Since accepting appearances as truth is the basic problem, the antidote is to come to realize the falsity of appearances through reasoning. 3 ways of seeing objects. There are 3 modes of mental operation on an object. 1. Conceiving the object to inherently exist, which is what ignorance does. 2. Conceiving the object to not inherently exist, which is what insight does. 3. Conceiving the object without qualifying it with either inherent existence or an absence of inherent existence. As when just ordinarily seeing something, such as a house. Even when you are not seeing an object as inherently existent, the way ignorance does, you are not necessarily seeing it as not inherently existent. The way insight does, since there are thoughts that do neither, which fall into the 3rd category. This is why you need to delineate specifically those phenomena about which you are making this fundamental mistake. Just thinking about something else will not reverse ignorance. It would be like searching for a robber in town after the robber has gone to the forest. When ignorance is overcome, you will have uprooted the mistaken beliefs that superimpose on objects qualities as beauty and ugliness beyond what they actually have. Then all other afflictive emotions, lust, hatred, jealousy, belligerence, and so on that of ignorance as their root are overcome. When afflictive emotions are removed, they can no longer motivate your actions' karma. Then your powerless birth and rebirth and cyclic existence driven by predispositions established by your actions, the other aspect of karma, are overcome, and liberation is attained. You need to contemplate this progression so that it is clear to you, and then unerringly seek the truth. When you fully understand how you enter into and disengage from the round of suffering, You will appreciate and value knowing the way persons and things actually are. If you do not come to understand that ruinous attitudes can be extinguished, the existence of liberation will not be clear to you. But when you understand that mistaken perspectives can indeed be removed, your intention to achieve liberation will strengthen. This is why insight is so important. Meditative reflection. Consider this. 1. Ignorance leads to exaggerating the importance of beauty, ugliness, and other qualities. 2. Exaggeration of these qualities leads to lust, hatred, jealousy, belligerence, and so on. 3. These destructive emotions led to actions contaminated by misperception. 4. These actions karma led to powerless birth and rebirth in cyclic existence and repeated entanglement in trouble. 5. Removing ignorance undermines our exaggeration of positive and negative qualities. This undercuts lust, hatred, jealousy, belligerence, and so on, putting an end to actions contaminated by misperception, thereby ceasing powerless birth and rebirth in cyclic existence. 6. Insight is the way out.